Joining us with her thoughts on the emails and the censorship is none other than New York Post columnist Miranda Devine. Miranda, welcome back to KUSI.
Thank you, Paul. It's so nice to be with you.
Anything big happening at the paper since we last chatted? You're at the focus of the world right now.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, the most extraordinary thing is the reaction of social media to our story. And the fact that Facebook and Twitter both yesterday conspired to censor our story just tells you that they are in the Biden camp, A, and B, that our story frightens them.
And the fact, I mean, let's not overlook the fact that the mainstream media, all the national newscasts, neglected to mention the story. And they didn't show the same concern, say, when the Atlantic report on Trump came out or the tax documents were obtained. There seems to be a different rule book for different candidates, does there not?
There is, and this is the hypocrisy, and you really see it with the big tech oligarchs. So Facebook and Twitter had absolutely no problem, as you said, 2 weeks ago with Donald Trump's leaked tax returns. They had absolutely no problem when CNN played audio recordings of private phone conversations that Melania Trump had had. No problem with the entire Russia collusion stuff, the hoax that was perpetrated by the New York Times and the Washington Post, etc. And no problem at all with the Steele dossier when BuzzFeed was spreading that everywhere, that, you know, is shown to be utter nonsense and was utter nonsense on the face of it. So Twitter and Facebook, the social media giants, are lying now when they say that they're just trying to protect the public and, you know, stop malicious information, and then they need to do fact checking, and that they don't like material that's unauthorized. I mean, so much of journalism is publishing so-called unauthorized material that other people don't want you to have. And we don't live in communist China quite yet. And yet these oligarchs in big tech are treating us as if we are fiefs in their authoritarian regime.
So, Miranda, now it's up to the story and the people who are breaking the story for it to hold up. And already your critics are lining up. They will say things like, well, let's look at some of the names that are involved, like Bannon and Giuliani. Funny how they are around yet another story that involves, I don't know, I think back to the Russian collusion stories and the leaked emails, and they're saying these guys know how to play dirty pool. How would you respond to that charge alone?
Well, this has absolutely nothing to do with Russia. That's just ridiculous. And secondly, yes, Rudy Giuliani was the one who brought the laptop, Hunter Biden's laptop, the hard drive, to us. That's true. But that's because Hunter Biden left his laptop at a Mac repair shop last April in Delaware, and then he failed to pick it up. He abandoned his laptop, and the guy who owns that Mac repair shop sat on it for 8 months. He's owed money by Hunter Biden for fixing it because it was water damaged. And then he's watching the television. He sees the impeachment stuff. It rings a bell with him. He has a look at what's on the laptop or the hard drive. He contacts the FBI, doesn't contact Rudy Giuliani or anyone else, FBI. They come along, they pick up the laptop. Then he hears nothing, the FBI's done nothing. So he contacts a senator, conservative Senator Mike Lee, sends an email, no response. Sends an email to a conservative group, no response. Sends an email to Rudy Giuliani because he saw him on television talking about the whole issue about Burisma. And lo and behold, Rudy Giuliani is the only one who pays attention to this guy. There's the story. And so, you know, there's no apology for us publishing actual emails from Hunter Biden's laptop, which show that his father, quite contrary to his protestations that he knows nothing about Burisma, knows nothing about his son's business dealings overseas, emails show that Hunter Biden arranged a meeting for his father with one of the top executives at Burisma.
So, Miranda, then respond to your critics who say, hey, there were numerous investigations into this very matter. The vice president, former vice president, says, hey, my son did nothing wrong. And while there might be the appearance of wrongdoing, no crimes were committed. What's the big deal? How do you respond to that? And why didn't those investigations that happened months and years ago, why didn't they reveal this email that you now have in your possession on your front page?
Well, I mean, I guess Hunter Biden hadn't given his laptop to a Mac repair shop and then left it there and failed to pick it up. I mean, I don't know what to say other than those investigations obviously weren't very thorough. And, we have the email. The emails. We have thousands of emails, documents, photographs, videos. We're publishing them. We did our first installment yesterday, a second installment today. There's plenty more where that came from. And it's really very weak to be attacking us on these grounds that, there were already investigations. Forget about it. This is new information. So I think it needs to be treated seriously. And I think answers need to be given. And Joe Biden yesterday, instead of calling a press conference and declaring his innocence and saying that, this is wrong for this reason, etc., and showing evidence that it's incorrect, he went into hiding yet again. His campaign so-called called a lid before 10 a.m. And then his campaign issued a statement in which all they said was that our story was discredited. Well, prove it. And then they had a one element of their statement had a concrete attempt to refute the story. And what it said was they had reviewed Joe Biden's official calendar for the period in question when this Burisma meeting occurred. And there's no record of the meeting in his official calendar, which really, I mean, would you expect that he would list it in his official calendar? I mean, he's not that silly.
All right, Miranda Devine, what an honor to speak with you again. I look forward to our next encounter, okay?
Thanks, Paul. Great to talk.
Miranda Devine of the New York Post, everybody.